What is up? I'm Kelsey, and this is Cool Kids Don't Dance. So, I don't really know if any of you guys are like super following my videos, but one or two of you might have noticed that I didn't upload a video last weekend. I was super busy, but I looked at all of the updates and stuff, and there really wasn't too much to update anyway. To be quite honest, it probably would have been a top 5 countdown instead of a top 10 countdown. Regardless, you didn't miss much. I would say the biggest thing that happened that week was Liam's trip to Puerto Rico. On the bright side, I got a pack of One Direction temporary tattoos at Party City this weekend. Oh no, one seems to be missing. Anyway, it's time for me to go into the updates for this week. Today is Sunday, February 16th, and here's what's happened in the One Direction fandom this week. Number 10 is really short, and quite honestly, it's only on the list because there really isn't too much to update this week either. Niall got a haircut. He tweeted the other day that he was going to hang out with Lou and get a haircut and see Lux and everything. And he uploaded a selfie, and his hair is like down and like swooped. It looks really punk. I'm not quite sure my opinion on it yet. There have been a couple more pictures that have come out of him with like fans and stuff, but I still haven't formulated an opinion. Number 9. So the other day, Harry was asked how he thought that One Direction compared to the Beatles. And he talked about how him and the lads were watching a movie, documentary I guess, of the Beatles and their first time in America. And he said it was really similar to their first time in America, like getting off the plane and the girls and the havoc and whatnot. But he says that musically he doesn't think they even stand a chance compared to the Beatles. I would beg to differ, but it's really cute that he's so humble about everything. On Tuesday, we had a great family bonding moment for the Styles family. Apparently, Anne, Gemma, and Harry were all hanging out, and then like Lou, Teasdale, and Lux were there with them. Anne and Gemma posted like a couple of Instagram pictures of all of them together, and it was really nice that Harry's finally taking some of his time off to hang out with his family. On Tuesday night, a lot of people thought that Harry was this mystery guy in Taylor Swift's Instagram video. The video was captioned haircut, I think, and a lot of people thought that meant like, oh yeah, it's gotta be Harry in that video. Also, a lot of people thought it was Harry because Cara Delevingne and Ellie Goulding and maybe Nick Grimshaw were in Taylor Swift's video. And since they're all friends with Harry, and the guy kind of looked like Harry, everyone was freaking out. But alas, it wasn't Harry because he was hanging out with his family, thank God. As we all know, 5 Seconds of Summer is the band that opened for One Direction on the Take Me Home tour. They're really big fans of the boys. Obviously, they look up to them a lot. And they've been fans, you know, even since before they started touring with the boys. Niall is especially close to the 5 Seconds of Summer boys, and apparently, I found out this week, he helped them write their single, She Looks So Perfect. I think that this is so cute because they look up to him so much, and he tweeted at them the other day saying, I'm listening to She Looks So Perfect right now, it's a rockin' tune or something like that, and tagged all 4 of the 5 Seconds of Summer boys in the tweet. He also posted an Instagram picture that day of him, like his guitar, and the caption was jammin'. So I'm assuming he was playing She Looks So Perfect. I love that song. If you guys haven't heard it yet, you need to check it out because it's life-changing. This one makes me a little bit emotional. So Matthew Morrison is the man that plays Will Schuester on Glee. The other day he was talking about how great it would be, I guess, to have One Direction and Simon Cowell on Glee. I'm gonna go ahead and read you guys what he said about it. To have One Direction on would be great for the show. They're not much older than high school age, so we could have them as students. It would also make great TV seeing Sue Sylvester and Simon Cowell go head to head. I really think that the boys should actually do that. I think they should be on Glee because that would mean like a couple musical numbers, and it would also mean American accents, backpacks, varsity jackets, and bad acting. Speaking of One Direction on TV, oh my gosh. The other day, Simon Cowell was interviewed about his new baby and like what he's been working on lately. The interviewer asked him, hey, like what do you have in store One Direction wise? And Simon responded saying, well, there might be a television show in the works. We're not sure yet, I'm gonna be talking about it in the next couple weeks. The boys are always really busy. Now, as much as I would love to have a One Direction reality TV show, I kind of also don't want to have a One Direction reality TV show. If they had a show, this would mean like a whole wave of new fans that only like them because they saw them on TV and they thought they were hot. I am dedicated. I don't want any more people to love them. They're mine. So as we know, the Midnight Memories music video was released a couple weeks ago, and this week, management released a couple videos, like 4 videos, on the One Direction Vivo account of Midnight Memories behind the scenes. Each of the 4 videos was taken like during a different stage of the video. They had like the party, like riding along with those old ladies on the street and like the kebab shop, and then they had them riding on like the Thames River and then on the London Bridge. And my favorite of these 4 videos is the last one on the London Bridge, because Liam talks about, you know, it's cool that we get to do this and come up here because a lot of people don't get this opportunity, and we're just so lucky to be in this position. And whenever they talk about how lucky they are and how far they've come, it strikes something in my heart. And they were acting like total nerds. Like Louis was taking pictures, like selfies from the bridge, and Niall was like, it's nice up here. Like, oh, I just love them. I feel like one of the only things that Niall tweets about anymore is sports. And this next update has to do with Niall and sports. So apparently Niall was watching a rugby game, like on TV maybe, the other day, and he tweeted about how this guy, Mike Phillips from the Welsh rugby team, was acting like a total child, like throwing a fit, and how he looked like an idiot. Mike Phillips saw this tweet and tweeted back at Niall saying, oh yeah, well why don't you come down to the training ground next week and see how you handle it. Oh, and bring the rest of the Beatles with you. Good one, Mike. One of the Irish rugby players tweeted at Niall to defend him, saying, don't worry mate, I've got your back and whatever, and Niall was like, thanks man, you're the best. I don't know. He talks to athletes all the time and I don't really get it. Also, it was circulating around that Niall and this Mike guy were offered 50,000 euros to do a charity boxing match to settle their Twitter dispute. It's really funny because clearly that's not going to happen. Niall is not going to beat a professional rugby player in a boxing match, but Zayn and Max from The Wanted were offered the same deal, like a charity boxing match for their Twitter dispute. I think it's really funny that Niall always tweets this kind of stuff at athletes, like trash talking them, I guess, but one day it's definitely going to come back to bite him in the butt. Zayn was in America! Everybody was freaking out because on Thursday, the day before Valentine's Day, pictures of Zayn surfaced at Urban Outfitters with this old man wearing a tank top. And people were like, wait a second, it's too cold in the UK to wear a tank top. Where is he? And then these fans on Twitter started saying, oh yeah, we saw him in LA. He wouldn't let us take pictures because he was scared that we would post them on Twitter and he didn't want anyone to know that he was here. I think it's funny that he wouldn't take pictures with fans, but he took a picture with the shop owner who ended up putting it on the internet. Anyway, on Thursday night, Zayn went to Demi Lovato's Neon Lights tour concert because Little Mix is opening for them. He went and sat at the sound check and listened to Perry and the rest of Little Mix like warming up, which I thought was so cute. Apparently after the concert, a bunch of fans were following Little Mix's bus because Zayn was inside. I understand you want to meet him. I feel like I might have done the same thing, but that's also kind of rude. Like you're following Little Mix's bus to see Zayn. Like, how would you feel if you were Little Mix? Regardless, Zayn and Perry seemed like they had a pretty good Valentine's Day. They like went and got Thai food, Zayn tweeted, and he tweeted on Saturday a selfie of him and Perry saying yesterday was wicked or something like that, and it was this really cute selfie of him and Perry. Oh, I just love them. Yesterday, however, he started tweeting all this really weird stuff. He tweeted like, right, I've had enough, ... Everybody was freaking out like, oh my gosh, he's mad at us for some reason, and he's gonna deactivate his Twitter, and we're not gonna get any more random selfies. And then he tweeted, who wants to follow ... haha gotcha. I really have no clue what that was about, but a lot of people thought he was like angry because he had been like very public about he and Perry lately, and he was probably getting hate, or like Perry was getting hate, I don't know. I am proud to say that I ship Zerrie with all of my heart. I think they're the cutest thing ever. Though I love Zayn and wish I was with him, I love Perry and I love that she's with him. She deserves him. She's a cute girl. Let's move on. Louis Tomlinson has a lot of siblings. That's why the #1 spot in the countdown is the birth of Louis' half-siblings, Doris and Ernest. That's right, I said Doris and Ernest. Twins were born early Wednesday morning, and I don't think Louis was there, but he got there really soon after to meet them. A lot of people don't like these names. I'm really not sure how I feel about them, but at the end of the day, it's really not our decision what the kids are named because they're not our kids. Now, Louis has like this really complicated family line, and there's like a lot of confusion as to like, well, does he have 5 sisters or 6 sisters and like a brother? Like who is whose father? So I'm gonna lay it down really quickly. Louis's biological parents are Jay, Joanna, and this man named Troy Austin. They weren't married, and Troy and Joanna like separated when Louis was really young. Troy Austin married another woman and had a daughter after Louis named Georgia. Georgia is like 14 or 15 now, and since Georgia and Louis share Troy as a dad, they are half siblings. It's actually pretty sad, because I looked into like Georgia and everything, and apparently she like worships Louis and she loves the band, but she's only met him 3 times. I really wish that Georgia and Troy were like a bigger part of Louis's life, but ultimately it's his decision who he talks to from his family and who he doesn't. After all of that, Jay married Mark Tomlinson, and they had 4 kids. Lottie is 15, Fizzy is 13, and Daisy and Phoebe are 9. Since Jay married Mark when Louis was so young, he had his name changed from Louis Troy Austin to Louis William Tomlinson. Mark and Jay divorced in 2011, and now she's engaged to Dan Deacon. This man is the father of the 2 newest twins, Doris and Ernest. I think it's really funny that Jay has had a second set of twins because Phoebe and Daisy, the 9-year-olds, are the first set, and now she has Ernest and Doris. It's also really good that the twins were born while Louis wasn't on tour because he got to meet them like really soon after they were born. Even though Jay's a little bit older and the twins were born premature, they are in perfect health and they will enjoy a long, happy life with a rock star brother. I'm pretty sure that's all I have for today. If you want to see any of the stuff I talked about, like any of the links or YouTube videos, it's linked below. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter or on Spotify, that's linked below. Or if you have any questions, you can email me, which is below. You guys might be wondering why I have a dollar bill hanging next to my beautiful One Direction collage. I want you guys to take a closer look at this dollar. Hello, welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order? Yes, please. I would like a vanilla ice cream cone. Alright, that'll be 106. Excuse me, ma'am. Why does this dollar bill have the faces of One Direction on it? That's right. Look at that. My best friend Gab bought it for me while she was in New York, and she gave it to me in the lunchroom, and I screamed. It's really funny, and I love it, and I'm really glad that she thought of me in New York. I vote to make this the new United States currency, just saying. Well, that's it for today. I'm Kelsey, this has been Cool Kids Don't Dance, and I will see you guys next week. You and me and all my friends, I don't care how much we spend, as long as we use One Direction currency. That's a wrap.